So if you have children or family that you care about, you need to get in a rehabilitation center, you need to re-educate your mind and find some way to get off of this poison, because it's gonna kill you. It's gonna kill you or destroy your life or put you in prison.
Are there more arrests coming, do you believe?
Yes.
Can you say what role, like Preston Police Department, the other agencies played in the action that was taken on the warrants? Were they all involved on scene with the warrant service, their SWAT teams, that kind of stuff?
They were invaluable sources of information. They're also part of our organized crime task force. They have officers assigned to that. Both of these locations were within their jurisdiction, so the information and street information that they had was invaluable to our task force and team that was working this case.
Were any of the individuals arrested, did any of them give up a fight, or did they all come
I'd say
surprise them, they just hook them up, or what?
The thing is, and I think I have a picture of them all right there, they all are Okaloosa County residents. And I think that's the thing that was most notable to me. They all live here, and they are the largest heroin fentanyl distribution organization in Okaloosa County's history. You take $7 million worth of poison off the street, that is a big, big effort. And it took a lot of manpower, a lot of resources to make that happen. You don't just go and say you're selling drugs and arrest people. It took a lot of man hours and time to put this case together, and they put it together where it's airtight. These people were going to prison, and
They didn't even put resist when you got them, do you know?
I wasn't there on every arrest. I would suspect they didn't. They're in jail, so if they did, that's what we make tasers for.
Were they all rounded up on the same day?
A lot of them rounded up same day. We used the Marshal Service to help us locate a couple that, I think the one in Escambia County Sheriff's Office picked them up for us. He was in possession, I forget what his name was. But yes, we had multiple agencies assisting.
Any idea how long this heroin ring had existed? Was it years, months? Do you have any idea of that?
The distribution centers in our country that affect Northwest Florida the most are Miami, Atlanta, and New Orleans, the big city hubs. And I don't know
I'm specifically
exactly
about
where.
Okaloosa County. How long have any idea how long this group of people have been working together?
Well, a number of them were convicted felons, so how long they were working together, at least a year,
Oh,
maybe longer. I can't tell you what they were doing prior to the investigation.
Are you guys working with any federal agencies? Obviously, there's a bigger picture with this.
Yes, DA is here. The Marshal Service helped in locating some of the individuals. Yeah, we have great partnerships with state and federal agencies.
what statement does this say to the other possible potential dealers that are out there right now?
I say make yourselves known now and get it over with, because we're coming. You want to just end it now, that's great. Maybe you escape in the night, but there's just no place in Okaloosa County. There's no place in Florida for you. There's no place anywhere here for you, because it's not a victimless crime. You're killing people. This fentanyl and heroin, it destroys communities. It literally destroys communities, from rural to urban and everything in between. And wait until, God forbid, your kid ever tries heroin or fentanyl, and they're gone. I mean, this is not a game. We have laws for a reason, and it's to protect our citizens, even from themselves. And we've got to do a much better job in holding these folks accountable. It's not, I get 2 years and I'm out again selling drugs again. These convicted felons, they go right back to doing it. I mean, to me, you've shown a disdain for the law, you've shown a disdain for your fellow citizen, you don't care, it's all about the money, I don't care who dies in the process. You should go to prison forever.
Were there any specific deaths that you're aware of in Okaloosa County that directly resulted of stuff that these particular people put on the street? Does anybody come forward and say, hey, my child died and I knew this guy, or anything like that?
You know, I don't have any empirical data to that, but you know, when these drugs start going out, and that's the thing I would tell drug dealers, if you sell drugs, you're going to get caught. You have to sell to somebody. You sell to multiple people. Somebody's gonna talk. Somebody's gonna get pinched. Somebody's gonna tell. So you can't, I've never known a successful drug dealer ever. They always pay in the end. Whether it's in their assets and money or time in prison, you always pay in the end. There is no win.
You know if these guys are associated with any gang? Or would you consider this a gang? Was there any gang that maybe they would be associated with?
They are a gang. This organization is a gang. And you can tell Dirt, Mr. Aaron Johnson there in the middle, he had those on the bottom, a lot of those were distributing for him. Those in the middle were distributing for Mr. Powell. But they were organized and they were doing it for a while.
Any idea what the sentencing rules would be on these guys?
Life, I say life for all of them. If it was me, they'd be in prison forever. I'm sure the state attorney will certainly answer any question you have regarding to what sentences they may face.
The individuals that have been charged with trafficking, at this time, they face a potential of 30 years in state prison. Because of the volume of the drugs that are involved in this case, several of those individuals are looking at anywhere between 25 years minimum mandatory and 15 years minimum mandatory. It will depend upon the amount of the drugs that can be associated with each individual. So that is the parameters that these individuals are looking at as far as the sentencing at this time.
Are there any resources for people who were affected by this being distributed in the community?
Resources such as,
For people who are addicted or, you know, the victims essentially in this?
I don't think we have near enough rehabilitation centers, but to be honest, I'm past rehabilitation. I think there's time for accountability and punishment. The penal system has tried rehabilitation, and this is just Sheriff Astor's opinion. It's not working. That we've got to start holding people accountable for the lives that are being destroyed. There are numerous rehabilitation centers, but you got to want to have help. Whether it's 12 Oaks or there's all kinds of rehabilitation centers around here. They're always full though. Are they working? It doesn't seem like it.
Now, because all of this is off the streets now, are you guys worried about anyone having withdrawals or anything like that? Having a lot of people who need medical attention?
I know that you can go to any emergency room in Okaloosa County or in the state of Florida, and you'll see an emergency room full of people withdrawing and in need of assistance for addiction.
I realize you put the other dealers on notice. I think that's good. What's the chances of somebody building an organization like this size and amount in any near future time? Do you think that's even feasible?
It's easy. That's the bad part is you can get this stuff, again, I go back to these city distribution centers, you can get this stuff through the mail. So if they're getting it through the mail in Atlanta and New Orleans and Miami coming from Mexico or China or wherever they're getting it from, and they got a cousin or relative or friend that lives in Okaloosa County or Walton County or Santa Rosa County, anywhere in the Panhandle, you've got a distribution ring because they're getting such large amounts of it.
Do you know, or can you say that any of this was received through the mail locally?
I can't say that, I can tell you that their sources for Mr. Powell, they're on the right and left. That's all I can say. Any other questions?
For people in the community who may not understand the dangers of fentanyl, can you talk about that, especially when it's paired up with heroin, and then also, do you all feel like you saved some lives here in Okaloosa County?
Yeah, I'm confident of the last, that lives have been saved. Just when you take 700, nearly a kilo of fentanyl off the street, again, I say 1 milligram is a dose, 2 milligrams is an overdose. You're dead. And so when you have 766 grams, there's 10 milligrams in every gram. Think of this, 300,000 doses of fentanyl. If you double it, the overdose amount, that's 150,000 deaths. That's enough poison to kill 150,000 people if they were to take 2 milligrams each. So yes, did they save lives? They saved a lot of lives, which is evident in our overdose record to date. I can't say enough about these guys and the efforts that they made to make this happen. It took a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of patience, and a lot of commitment, and they gave it all. Any other questions? Again, I want to thank our folks. Lieutenant Dave back there, Investigator Mitch Landis, they don't want any credit. They're pretty humble folks, but Major Brown, he was on another issue yesterday.